Katrina's Creations. This is episode 190. We are only 10 away from hitting 200. Yay! So a lot is going on. I've gotten a lot done this week, but we've also gotten a huge more number of, that was really grammatically correct. We've had a huge amount of increased subscribers. I still don't know that that's grammatically correct, but you know what I mean. So anyway, we have hit, since I started with the Christmas in July Fairies, I have like 200 new subscribers. So let me just tell you a little bit about our podcast. First, I say our because you guys get to contribute on this one. Every week I come and post a video on Saturday, but I also post a video on Wednesday, which is usually like a tutorial or something like that. Wednesday or Saturdays, I tell you what I've made, what I'm working on, and we have a segment called Show and Tell where you can send me pictures of things you are working on so the rest of us can enjoy it vicariously. So, yes, we have that going on. We have not just the Christmas in July Fairies giveaway, but I'm going to do another giveaway. So stay tuned to the end of the episode because I will give you the details on that when I get there. So let's get started with what I have finished object-wise. I'm actually going to be inserting a clip because there's too much for me to carry upstairs. This is my yarn cave, my craft cave, and it's upstairs where right now it's extremely warm because it's like a Cape Cod, so I'm up in the attic portion of the house, and I had to turn the air conditioner off because you'd never hear me over it otherwise. But anyway, what I have that are finished objects is I have some yarn that is in my Etsy shop, and I was never really happy with how it turned out. It was a little washed out. It reminded me of washed out rainbow sherbet. And I will stick a picture in so you can see what it looked like. But I thought, let's try re-dyeing it now that I've learned a little bit more about the dyeing process. So let's give it a shot, and what could go wrong? Actually, nothing went wrong. It turned out right. I'm really thrilled with what happened. It's still rainbow colored, but everything is more vibrant. So and it's got some pretty colors that have shown up where some of the colors have bled together. So yeah, so I'm going to insert that part of the video, but I've been making some more project bags for my Etsy shop, and so those are, I will show you those too. So I will let that footage roll. So you saw what the yarn looked like before. Look at what it looks like now. We've got lots more vibrant colors. I have 3 skeins of this, and I have 2 skeins of this one, which to me looks like a cantaloupe, and then I have 4 skeins of the pink and purple and like a white and a light, real light blush color in there. So that is the yarn. Now let me show you what I've been working on this week. I've been making some more project bags. So this one's almost done. This is the outside or the inside. They're reversible. And this is what the inside is going to look like. It is a striped pattern with very similar to what's on the outside. So I have that one in the works. I have this one that has to be put together yet, but it's a blue one. And then this is the inside or outside. Like I said, they are reversible. And then I have this one that's just about finished. I just have to put the drawstrings in these yet. So here's this one, and this is what the other side of it looks like. And then there's 4 other ones that are already completed that are in the shop that you can go over and check out if you want to. So anyway, that's what's over in the Etsy shop right now and what I've been working on for my finished objects. Now my Etsy shop link is down below in the description box. You will also find everything you want to find that could possibly be needed is downstairs. It's down in the description box. If you want to find my Facebook page, my Instagram, which I'm not real good at, but anyway, I have one. Instagram, the Etsy shop, there's crochet and knitting merchandise, like tote bags that say crochet or knitting type of things, you know, like mugs, that type of stuff. All of that's down there. Any of the affiliate links to craft companies that I work with, those links are down below. And what else is there? Yes, the link to the entry video for the Christmas in July Fairies is over there, is down there as well. So that is my finished object. So now let's get started with my works in progress. I have 2 knitting and 1 crochet that I'm very, very excited about. And if you do get on Instagram or Facebook, you saw part of it already. So my first project is a knitting project. This is the Find Your Fade that I feel like I've been working on forever. It is a sideways shawl, so you actually are knitting it. You're knitting it this way, you know, but it's going to get worn this way. So it's called a sideways shawl. So I have gotten, where's my spot from this week? I actually remembered to be at the end of a row before I showed you where I was at. So you can see here where I was last week. And I have gone all the way through the lace. I just finished up the lace section, so I have like 3 solid rows to go, and then I will start striping with the very last color. So the very last color is purple. This is a 7-color shawl. So it starts with this color here, and then it goes to gray, and then to fuchsia, and then black, and then some speckling, and then the pink, and then the purple is the same color as the purple in here. That's going to be the final color. And as you can see, it's kind of an odd shaped shawl because it goes down here, but it has this little point here, which it really is intended to have that, which you're not being able to see really well. Once I block this, you'll be able to see it a little bit better because it'll be laying down flat and you can see it. But it kind of goes at a funny angle. Kind of reminds me of a boomerang or a paper airplane, which sounds crazy for a shawl, but it works. Just trust me. I will show it to you when I finish. So that's project number 1. Now my second project is my crochet project. I'm so extremely excited about this. I have worked all the way through the white. I have 5 colors. They're all in shades of blue. And I say this is white, but when you look at it in bright light, it almost has a faint, very faint, but very faint bluish tinge to it. After this, I have a light blue, and then it works its way all the way to a navy. So there's 4 different shades of blue. And then I have a second bunch that goes from the navy all the way back down to the white again. So I really thought this is a C2C, which I have been holding off doing because I really thought it was complicated and above my skill set, because I've only been crocheting a little over 2 years. Well, I say that, but I knew how to make granny squares. I knew how to go back and forth, but I didn't know how to do more intricate things. Like I've tried doilies, and I've made, chevron. Yes, I've made chevron afghans, and I made a circular, like a table topper. Well, it was supposed to be an afghan. I made it a table topper for fall. That was like a 5 or 6 pointed star that went around. I think it was that. I don't know. I forget how many points were involved, but it was a star of some sort. And so it's like hexagonal. So, I've been holding off doing this because I really thought it was hard. And then I started watching a tutorial and went, oh, within like the first 2 or 3 rows, I had it figured out, and it was like, oh, this is so easy. Why did I hold off on doing this? So anyway, here it is. This is my beginning. Like I said, I've worked all the way through the skein of white yarn. And I have to say, this is strange yarn. This yarn came from Joann's. It's part of a set. Let me get the one down. I have another set in pink. Let me show it to you. as the yarn comes tumbling down. This is what it was. It's called Big Twist Gradients. Now this one is pink. It kind of goes pink and then it goes to kind of almost a reddish rose color. It's looking more red in the camera than it really is. It's kind of a deep rose. But anyway, the blue, and this one is funny because this one is not white either. This is actually, it looks it in the camera, but it is a very, very, very light pink. So it kind of confirms my thought that this is actually a very light, I mean, just a tad hint of a blue. But as you can see, this is what this is going to do, but with blue. Just use your imagination. And so I finished this one, so I'm going to work my way through, and then coming back, I'll be going, I think, start back over again, or I'm not sure what I should do at that point, which direction I'm going to go with it, whether I'm going to start back. I don't want a big center section that's the dark blue. That's rose here, but blue in reality. So I haven't figured out if I want to go back that way, or if I want to, I'm tending to think I want to start here and end in the navy blue, going back down. We'll see when I get to that point what I'm going to do with it. But what I was saying about this yarn, and it is 100% acrylic, but it doesn't say anything more about it. It's very strange yarn. It is very splitty. It's loosely plied. And I mean, it's not going to show up in the camera, but it's very fuzzy. It almost comes unwrapped, which is plied, you know, when they twist it. It's almost like it untwists. And it has a fuzziness to it that reminds me almost of boucle. It's extremely soft. I have to say, for an acrylic, it's very, very soft, but it just has kind of a weird texture to it when you're crocheting with it. It's not unpleasant or anything to deal with, but it just, it's almost like in some sections, it's almost like the yarn is flat instead of round. Like I said, it almost reminds me of a boucle. It's just it's very odd. But anyway, yeah, I was just so excited that I was able to figure this out. So that is my first C2C, and I'm sure there would be more. Then my last work in progress that I have going on is the first of many hats for my grandkids for Christmas. This is one of the older boys. The two oldest boys, there's 9 boys and 2 girls. We have an abundance of testosterone, apparently, in our family. So the oldest 2 boys are 15 and 16. So one of them is going to get this. And this is based on a man-sized hat because at 15 or 16, they have a man-sized head. And yeah, I'll put it on. So you can see, I'm going to be starting to do the decreases because these are just going to be beanies for the most part. I don't have a huge amount of yarn left. You can see here's what I've got left. And the yarn I am using is Lion Brand. The yarn I am using is Lion Brand Just My Stripe. And this color is licorice for obvious reasons. Looks like black licorice. And so it looks like my next color is going to be a darker charcoal gray. Because it's not quite black, but it's close. It's a very dark charcoal. So then it looks like I'm going to go to a medium charcoal and back to the color that I started on. And yeah, this will be for one of the boys. And then I only have 10 more to go. But I'm finding that for the bigger kids, it's going to take close to, I mean, maybe not the entire skein, but close to it. So we'll see how far that goes. And the boys, I'm doing pretty much just a ribbing stitch here. And then I'm just doing stockinette. I'm keeping it pretty simple since they're guys and really aren't going to care. But for the girls, now the 2 granddaughters, the oldest one is my oldest grandchild. She just turned 17. So one is 17 and one is going to be 9. So for them, I might do something like crochet or lacy or, you know, a little bit more cutesy to it. The guys don't appreciate cutesy. So, yeah. So anyway, that's what my other knitting project is. Now, before I show the section on show and tell to see what you guys have been making, I did want to tell you a little bit about one of the pictures, well, 2 of the pictures that you're going to see. The first one is, well, they're both by Fran Derrick. If you remember last year, Fran Derrick and Yoka Shurman-Nagel both were participating in the Tour de Fleece. Now, if you don't know what the Tour de Fleece is, it runs consecutively right alongside the Tour de France. And what it is on the days that they are participating in the Tour de France, that is the time that they are spinning, using a spinning wheel or a drop spindle. And so they spin wool or spin fleece on the same days that the Tour de France is going on. And at the very end, they calculate how many yards or meters they have done and translate it to miles. And then there's prizes awarded and things like that. So Fran is participating again this year, and she actually sets a tent up in her backyard, and that's where she does all of her spinning and everything. And she's got all of her fleece laid out, ready to go. And she has a sign on her tent that says Tour de Fleece. That is actually done as a Grafgan. It is a C2C with the design in it. So, yes, that's a piece of crochet work that is actually hanging on her tent. So now so that you understand what you're seeing as the pictures go by, you'll know what that is. So with that, let's take a look at what you all have been making this week. Now an update on our Christmas in July fairies. There are now the last that Kim actually let me know how many people at this point were participating. And she said that there are 142 people. Now, that was a couple days ago, so it could be more now. But there's at least 142 podcasts. Who knew there were that many crochet and knitting podcasts out there? But apparently there are. There's that many people participating. Now, if you have not heard about the Christmas in July Fairies, there is a link down below that you can go over to the entry video, or if you click the little letter I over here, it will take you to it too. I'll also put a link at the end of the video right on the screen that you can click and it'll take you over to it. The only thing you need to do to enter is be a subscriber, give me a thumbs up, and say something in the comments. What it gets you entered into is a huge, giant giveaway. I will be picking from people who enter on my podcast. I will be drawing a name on July 15th. That winner will get a prize from me. Then I will submit their name to the person who started the Christmas in July Fairies, who is Dana of Wanderlust Crochet. And it's Dana's Wanderlust Crochet. And I will give her your name. And then she will enter you in for a grand drawing on the 25th of July, and that person will receive a prize from every single podcaster. So whoever is the grand prize winner has a potential of 142 plus gifts headed their way. So it's a huge, huge giveaway. So that part is exciting. But as I said, I'm adding a little to it because I thought maybe we should have a runner-up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on July 15th, and that person will be entered into the semifinalists. But then on July 25th on my podcast, I'm going to draw a runner-up, and they're going to get a prize from me. So I will definitely be giving away 2 prizes. One on July 15th, and that person moves on to the grand drawing. And then there's a consolation drawing that I will do on July 25th. So, yeah, so if you miss out on the first one, you stand a chance at least getting a gift from me on the 25th. So make sure you stay tuned and you enter on the same video. I'm not making things complicated. I'm just going to be drawing from the exact same video. So that's what's going on with our second giveaway. So I've been doing a lot of giveaways lately, it seems like. So, and there might be more coming up because October is actually my 4th year. Really? Is it 4 years? I think it's 4 years I've been podcasting. Has it really been? It's been 4 years. Yes, I started in October 22nd, 2016 was my very first podcast. So yes, in October we will be doing a giveaway as well. Now it's time for... Now in our Come and Get It section, what I do each week is, because I'm an affiliate with several craft places, craft stores, and craft websites, sometimes I get the inside scoop of what's going on with sales. So if I find out something, I let you know about it. So lately there have not been as many sales like that I'm announcing on Saturdays because of the virus stuff that's going on. A lot of the shops are not open, or they're opening on a limited number of orders, that type of thing. So they're not running sales as much. So I will tell you what I do know that is available. And then if you see short little videos pop up from me or little things on Facebook during the week, it's because I've run across another sale. A lot of times Lion Brand and Annie's do a lot of little flash sales lately. So when those happen, I try to let you guys know. So the first sale that I know about, this is the Dollar Tree, and so everything in the store is $1. And this is a sale they have been running until they run out of yarn. They have Premier Cotton yarn on sale for $1 a skein. You do have to order this online. Most of the stores don't carry this. It's an online order, and you do have to order 3 skeins. But, I mean, 3 skeins of yarn is nothing. I will give you a little tip. I looked into it, and the solids have 131 yards, and the variegated yarns have only 96 yards. So if you're planning on making a project or something, just so you know what the yardage is. You get a little bit more bang for the buck with the solids than you do with the variegated. So it's $1 a skein, and you do have to buy 3. And if you have a Dollar Tree near you, you can actually pick it up there. You can have it shipped to the store and then pick it up there, and you don't have to pay shipping prices. So that is the Dollar Tree. Then there's Leisure Arts, and I showed you my Find Your Fade and talked about how it's a sideways shawl. They actually have a sideways shawl as well. Now it looks like it's mostly garter stitch, so it's a pretty easy pattern. It has a little lace edge to the like the bottom edge of it, but it is knit sideways, and then you turn it. And that pattern is $5.99, and here's what it looks like. Then I thought, well, since I'm doing a C2C, let's see if they have any patterns. And they do. They have, it's called the C2C Baby Afghan. It's $5.99, and there are 2 Grafghans in it. So C2C with a design in it. One is an anchor and one is an ice cream cone. I would like ice cream right now. We were talking about that over on the Facebook page the other day. All of us were chatting back and forth and talking about how hungry we were for ice cream. Yeah, but there's also 5 car seat blankets in that pattern book as well. So you're getting 7 patterns total for $5.99. That's pretty good. Then there is over at Annie's. This is Annie's Craft Store. They have a California crochet pattern. It's a new pattern for them right now. It is $6.99, and it's like a bunch of, instead of making granny squares, it's a different type of motif that you hook together. So that is the California crochet pattern. A lot of their new patterns have just come out on Annie, so that's why I was checking these out, because, yeah, new stuff. In their knitting section, they have what is called the Tulip Lace Neck Poncho knit pattern. Now, I'm thinking a neck poncho is similar to what this is that I'm wearing. This particular pattern is called Katrina's Kerchief Cowl. Katrina, yeah, I designed this one. It is a for sale pattern, and it's over on Love Crafts, and the link to all of my patterns, my crochet and knitting patterns, are down below. At this point, my crochet patterns are free. Some of my knitting patterns are free. Some of them are not free. This one is not, but it's only a couple dollars. But let me see if I can take this off so you can actually see it. But I'm thinking this is what they mean by a neck poncho, because if you see, it's just hooked in the back. So you get the look of one of those kerchief shawls, but you don't have all the bulk. So I'm thinking that's what they're talking about. But here's mine. And this is called Katrina's Kerchief Cowl. So, and that pattern from them is $5.99. Mine's cheaper. Anyway, Knit Picks. Now, Knit Picks is offering 40% off of their Knit Picks exclusive books. So when it says Knit Picks exclusive, it means it's a book that was put out specifically and only for Knit Picks. So it's not something you're going to find on another website. It's just exclusive to Knit Picks. So they're offering 40% off of those. They're offering 20% off of exclusive Knit Pick exclusive ebooks. So in other words, it's usually cheaper than a physical book, and then you just download it yourself and you can print it out on your own computer. So it saves a little bit of money. It's also nice because you can look through and print out only the patterns you want when you want them. So anyway, that is Knit Picks, and that is the limit of the sales that I know of at this point, but I will let you know if I see any others pop up here and there, because that's what happens. This week's videos, Wednesday is going to be part 2 of the potholder, the quilted potholder tutorial. If you missed part 1, you can click right here, and that will take you over to see part 1 of the potholder, how to make a quilted potholder. And I'll be honest, it's more the size of a mug rug, you know, like what you sit your tea mug on. It's about 6 inches by 6 inches. So if you decide you want to make this, but you really want a pot holder, just make the squares bigger. same technique and everything else. Just make the squares a little bit bigger. So that is Wednesday's video. And there should be a knit crate unboxing coming up soon. I've heard that it is getting ready to ship. I did get the shipping confirmation or pre-shipping confirmation yesterday. So it should be coming out. Knit Picks is a subscription box of yarn that you get once a month. And it's 2 skeins of yarn and at least 4 patterns, 2 crochet, 2 knit patterns. It runs $24.99 a month, but you can get your first box for $5. And then if you don't want it after that, just make sure you cancel it by the 1st of the month. And the link to that is down below as well if you want to give it a shot for $5. And that includes your shipping, so it's just strictly $5. That's it. And yeah, and it's luxury yarn. There's never any acrylic. It's all like natural fibers. And a couple months ago it was alpaca, which is really nice. And I might or might not have bought some yarn today because they were actually running a really good sale, because after they ship out your yarn supplies, whatever is left they put up at like half off. So I cashed in on the half off, and you also get bonus points for each month that you order with them. And when you get a certain number of bonus points, you can cash those in for a discount as well. So I did all of that and got a luxury skein of yarn for $3. I spent more in shipping. So I think it was $3 something to ship it, and the yarn itself was only $3. So anyway, yeah, it has all these little pluses that go along with Knit Crate. So yeah, so whenever that comes in, I will be doing a video, but I don't know the day it's going to get delivered at this point. So just keep your eyes out. I'll try to let you know when the unboxing for June occurs. They are running behind this month because of the virus, and their yarn is coming from Peru, and Peru just started shipping things out again. So everything is delayed. But anyway, just be watching to see what I got this month. Just in case you missed my crazy video I put out last week. Yeah, I'll stick that at the end too, that link. If you would like to know a day in the life of a Christmas in July fairy, I had tons of fun making it, and I'm having entirely too much fun with a tiara and apparently my baton twirling. I used to be a baton twirler. I'm not as good as I used to be, and what I didn't tell everybody when you see the video and I'm practicing with my crochet warm-up and twirling the baton all over the place, I edited out the part where I about took out the ceiling lamp, or the ceiling fan. Yeah, forgot it was up there, and I raised up the baton, and yeah, thankfully nothing was broken. But yeah, if you want to see something kind of stupid but funny, you can check out that video too. So that is it for this week. Thank you so much for all of you who have stopped by. Thank you too for the returning viewers who have been with me for a long time. And welcome to the new viewers once again. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.